Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I turned these classic espresso color chairs to more of a coastal look. The first thing I did was disassemble the chairs.
The great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun.
I always like to save the screws and any loose pieces in a Ziploc bag so I don't lose them throughout the process. I was intending to reupholster the chairs. However, I wanted to save the underlying fabric since it was still in really good condition and reuse it for the final piece. So I carefully removed all the staples. Once I was done with that, I repeated the process and removed the old fabric.
Spin around, you laugh to yourself, and I see you shine in every color, resting your head in my arms. You sing la 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 la. My God, I think I might be in love. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city.
I used the old fabric as a template to cut the new one to the appropriate size. Then I made sure all the pieces were aligned and started reupholstering.
As long as you're with me, get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. There's no place on earth.
I used the Ryobi crown stapler throughout the process. This is a battery-operated stapler and it is very user-friendly. When working on the corners of the seat, it is important to ensure that there's no wrinkles visible. So as you can see, I kind of play around with the fabric until the desired look is achieved.
I found you today. It feels like it's been forever, laughing all day. We spin around, your hand reaches mine. Feels like I can't do anything, just give me a mountain to climb. You sing la 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 la.
This is what it looked like when I was done. Because the fabric choice was so light, I decided to apply a fabric protector. The application was nice and simple, just had to spray about 2 inches away and then wait 24 hours for it to completely dry. The chair itself was a bit more tricky. Because I wanted to apply a whitewash to the chair, I needed to bring it down to the bare wood. This process was quite lengthy. I first started by sanding the entire piece with an 80 grit sandpaper.
My God, I think I might be in love. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll never feel alone as long as you're with me. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. There's no place on earth I would rather be.
Once the shiny finish was removed, I wiped it down with a clean wet rag to remove any dust. Then I used Klean-Strip's Premium Remover and Stripper to remove as much of the original stain as I could. You will notice the paint bubbling up right here. This means the chemical reaction is actually taking place. I use a flex scraper and a paper towel to remove the stripper. Now, I noticed there was still a lot of stain on the chair, so I repeated the process twice.
Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll never feel alone as long as you're with me. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. There's no place on earth
was done, I used Klean-Strip mineral spirits to stop the chemical reaction and clean off any leftover stripper. Now, I'll always remember to use gloves when using this product to protect your hands.
The great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun. You spin around, you laugh to yourself.
Now, ideally, after you've applied the remover and stripper, you should be able to lightly sand the wood and voila, be ready to stain or paint the wood. However, this was not the case here. I still wasn't done. Remember, I wanted the piece to be down to the bare wood because I was going to apply a white wash. So I continued sanding with an 80 grit sandpaper.
Shine in every color, resting your head in my arms. You sing la 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 la. My God, I think I might be in love. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll never feel alone as long as you're with me. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer.
For these hard to reach areas, I used a 120 grit sandpaper that I had on hand, and I manually sanded them down very patiently.
There's no place on earth I would rather be.
After many hours of sanding, the chair was finally down to the bare wood. It wasn't perfect, but it was just enough for what I needed. I did make sure to clean it down with a wet rag to remove any dust residue that it had before I started painting. For the white wash, I used BEHR Dynasty Frost with a matte finish for the paint. At first, I mixed 1/4 part paint and 3/4 part water to see how intense the wash would be against this wood. I really didn't like it at all. So I went back, I added some more paint to the mixture and made it more of a 50-50 ratio. This was way better.
I found you today. It feels like it's been forever, laughing all day.
If you guys want more tips on applying white wash on furniture, I will add a link to another video where I go into a little bit more detail on the process. Anywho, coming back to the chairs. Once I was done with the paint, I lightly sanded with a 400 grit sandpaper. This is to remove any small bumps or imperfections before I apply the sealer. As usual, I do clean this with a wet rag to remove any dust residue.
We spin around, your hand reaches mine. Feels like I can't do anything. Just give me a mountain to climb. You sing la 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 la.
I was ready to seal the piece. I used Varathane triple thick polyurethane in a matte finish. I did apply 2 layers of polyurethane, lightly sanding them with a 400 grit sandpaper and cleaning them in between each layer. This was to ensure that it was nice and smooth.
I think I might be in love. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll never feel alone as long as you're with me. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. There's no place on earth I would rather be.
With the chair painted and sealed and the seat reupholstered, all that was pending was to reassemble it.
Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll
Here's just a quick reminder of how these chairs originally started. They were a dark espresso color, and now they're transformed to these more coastal looking chairs. I'm not gonna lie, this was a long process. It took me about 3 weeks to complete 3 chairs. I refinished these chairs for my brother and sister-in-law, and they were super happy with the result, and I hope you guys are too. I'll add a list of supplies and links to the products I use in the description below. I'll also add a link to the video with more details about whitewashing furniture. As per usual, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, here at Angie's Crafts Furniture Renovation.